I want to be the diamond queen. Now, if we look in our valuables chest, I have half a stack of diamonds, but we could do much better than that. Luckily for us, we have one of the most valuable items on the server, iron, and lots of it. So I'm going to craft this all into iron blocks and put those in that shulker real quick. And with that, we have over a shulker box full of iron. We have 29 full stacks. And this means we are going to put this to use by creating an iron shop. Hello everybody, it's a writer here and welcome to episode 5 of BerryCraft. Today we have some super duper exciting plans as I just told you. I have spent the past couple hours in a creative testing world designing what we are going to be doing today. And I am so excited to show you the result. It's amazing, the other berries love it, and I will be doing this episode as a build along style to try and extend the time a little bit. So it's going to be a slightly different style than usual, but hopefully it should still be just as fun. So I'm going to go ahead and gather up some materials. I've gathered up all the materials most of the materials that we're going to need in these shulker boxes. It isn't a huge amount of materials, but they're organized. And we are going to buy a couple things in the shopping district. Specifically, we will be buying from Foxy's Black and White shop where we need 3 stacks of wool, 2 stacks of blackstone, and 1 stack of black concrete powder. Now, the first thing I thought of when designing the shop was the aesthetics. So my base, for example, has a clean, modern, and simple aesthetic. There's not a lot going on there, very defined edges, very square, very modern. But I wanted my build to kind of stand out, and modern just doesn't cut it in the shopping district. So I kind of want something to stand out, kind of like Foxy's build does over here. When you walk out that door, that's one of the first things you see, along with that totem over there. So I thought, what about one of my favorite aesthetics in real life, steampunk? So I took that idea and spent a couple hours, more than a couple hours, in a testing world designing a steampunk style building. Now, when I'm building these things, it is very important to consider what goes into a steampunk building or whatever kind of aesthetic that you're going for. One of the big things is some of the buildings look off balance. There's gears, there's smokestacks. It looks kind of futuristic but stuck in the past. So using those parameters, I designed a building in the creative test world that kind of tried to incorporate as many of those things as possible. I was unfortunately unable to incorporate some more of like the pipes and the smokestacks that a lot of steampunk builds have, but it sure does get that vibe along. So I'm now flying over the shopping district to try and pinpoint a good spot for this building. This is a prime spot right here, but it's not directly connected to the land, and there is indeed a spot over here that we could possibly use. I've determined I'm going to go with this space because of the visibility from when you walk out of the spawn building. Our portal's just right in there. This is where I wish I had the choosing key. It's just right in that building, so when you step out, you're going to immediately see this. Now, this building is 34 by 18 blocks, and it does have a flowing section, so I'm going to go ahead and terraform this land down. Now that I've marked out this area and we've terraformed this was a huge area over here. You could see all the dirt from all the mycelium I had to remove. We have tons of mycelium and dirt in this chest, along with mushrooms and just other stuff that I picked up while terraforming this area. So this is my little storage area. This is stuff that I pick up that I don't need. This is all the stuff I have, including my materials for building, which are all stuffed in here. So let's go ahead and get on to building. All right, so I got this first little area worked out. I have I have it pulled up in Minecraft Java. I have a duplicate, or not a duplicate, a world that has the build fully built in there, so I will be referencing that as I build. One of the cool things that I have prepared for actually building this thing is we are going to be using a lot of randomized blocks, so I actually have a hotkey that will basically essentially randomize which block I'm placing. So you could see, oh, I'm getting lots of andesite that time, but you can see it works as a random block placement, which is just perfect for us. So like one of the things I'm going to use it for is with stairs. So maybe bedrock isn't the best place to do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we have 2 there. and 2 over here. So you can see how that random placement works. And it's going to be super duper useful, specifically when building up the first layer to this shop. So the first layer to this is going to be primarily made of stone products, but then as we move further up, it will be made more and more of wood, as that is a common theme that I saw with a lot of different steampunk style builds. And I'm definitely basing these off of some steampunk style builds. I researched steampunk style builds just as like a general, not necessarily in Minecraft, and I've based stuff off of that. It's very useful when you are building something, especially in a style that you're not used to go ahead and just look it up. It's perfectly okay to look those things up, and it can be quite useful, especially when you're not very familiar with how those builds might look. We finished up the first part of this building. It is going to have a stone base structure. It has this little overhang as you walk into it. I think it's pretty cool, but you're going to notice that there is a lot of room over off to each side, and that's because this is the structure of the building. This is the base of the building, but there will be parts overhanging from it. That's going to be super duper cool and definitely give off those good steampunk vibes. I've got the tower in, you can see just how tall this building is going to be. It is not going to be a small building height-wise. However, there aren't going to be many things going much taller than the top of that tower. So the next thing I'm going to be building is one of the things I hinted at is we are going to have some structures that go off to this side that are kind of supported by little beams coming out of this section of wall, which should give it a little bit more of that steampunk feel. And we're going to have a similar situation on this side. They're going to look slightly different, so that way they aren't too similar and it's not just a mirror of each other. And that will hopefully give a little bit more of the steampunk feel, but we're going to get more of that aesthetic later on in the build. So we finished a little overhang there. This is something that I saw very, very common in steampunk style builds, is that they would have this slight overhang that goes beyond where the boundaries of the normal building goes. And that contributes a lot to it looking kind of rickety, but also super cool at the same time. So that's what this looks like up here. We have, oh, I forgot I am in the actual survival world, not my creative test world. We have that kind of archway, which I also saw in a lot of steampunk builds. We are going to build up the building and then we are going to add the details. There are a ton of real cool details that I want to add to this, including cranes and gears that really, really will help with the steampunk vibes of this build. But most importantly, let's get the build done, and I'm going to go ahead and finish up that second level. Now we have the second layer for the most part done. Again, there is no decorations. I haven't added in the chest yet, but if we go ahead and head inside here and head up to the second layer, you can see we have this real cool overhang where we get to see Foxy's amazing shop. And we are actually going to be doing another thing over here, but it's going to happen later. We're not going to quite get to that yet, but it'll definitely help a lot with the steampunk vibe. I really, really like the aesthetic of this door going out. I believe that having both the not typical door with kind of the weird shapes definitely helps play into the strangeness of the steampunk vibe that I love so, so very much. You're never going to hear me stop saying steampunk in this episode, so I'm terribly sorry if you're already tired of me hearing that. So I'm going to go ahead and build up the third and final layer to this build. And I am super duper excited to do that because things really start to come together then. And then we will be building that little thing over there that's going to really help pull it together. We've officially got the third layer in. Now this one doesn't have really anything special to it. But if we do head all the way up there, I can go ahead and show you the progress that I made with it. It's a very, very simple area. We have two outlets here. There's going to be a little bit of a decoration here, which I'm super excited to build. And a little bit over here, and of course the staircase ends here. You can't go up any further. And in addition to that, if we go down these stairs, we kind of have a little secret room. We're going to have a chest here. I'm not entirely sure what's going to go in that chest. Maybe it'll be where we keep our profits. Maybe it'll be like a deal of the week or something. But we have that nice little secret room. So let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick without any decorations. It's pretty plain, but does kind of have a sort of steampunk vibe to it. It's not very big right now, but the next thing that we're going to add is going to give it a big steampunk vibe. And that's going to happen before we do decorations. So if we come up here to the second level, you remember I showed you this before and told you we were going to deal with that later. And what we're going to do here is we're actually going to be building up a little airship, like a balloon, a blimp of sorts, and that is extremely exciting. And it is going to give us huge, huge steampunk vibes with this whole thing, and it's going to be really, really what we need. I've already designed it. I'm going to build it up, show you it when it's done. Now, this really adds that steampunk feel that we were going for. It is a balloon that you often see along accompanied with steampunk style builds, the blimp. I am not that great at creating organic kind of objects, so I tried my very, very best, but I think it turned out pretty decently. I am fairly happy with where it's at. And now we are going to make the rest of this build steampunk by adding in decorations. The main decorations that I have planned are some gears and a couple cranes. We are going to go ahead and build those up. So I really quick want to show you guys how I am going to make these cranes. So it's going to be kind of tutorial-like, so take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 logs. On this third one, you're going to cover each side with a trapdoor. I will get the the trapdoor that will go beneath this in just a second. It's kind of a little bit hard to do up here on camera. So one on that side and another on that side. And of course, you're going to want to place the one below that. But next, you're going to go ahead and place in a cobblestone wall right here, right on that edge. And you're going to place a stark or whatever type of stair you'd like there. You're going to go ahead and take a fence post, which I did not happen to bring, which is unfortunate and bad planning on my part. That would go there normally. Take that and then take your end rods and place them all around. And this kind of creates like a crank-like looking thing, which is super duper cool. And then you will go ahead and hang whatever you want from this, and it looks pretty similar to a crane. So this is what one of the cranes will look like. We're going to have a couple more. We're going to have one up there that's carrying slime, and I'm going to go ahead and build up that crane. We're going to have something right here that's kind of similar, and we're going to have something out back where I was showing you that there's going to be something there up on the third floor that is going to follow a similar thing to the crane. They're going to be like elevators, but not quite. So right up in this area right here is where the other one is going to be. And we have 4 sets of decorations in. We have this little conveyor belt right here that's bringing things up and down. We have that original crane that I showed you right there. We have another crane up here that is carrying some slime. And then the decoration we have over here is this like lowering some iron down. And I think these are turning out pretty well. Now, the final set of decorations that we're going to add to this are gears. I'm not going to show you me building them since they're super duper simple and won't take me terribly long, but I will show you the progress when I'm done. This just looks fantastic. I am so happy with how this turned out. We've added in the gears. There's a couple gears on almost every side, and it really helps pull in the steampunk vibe and aesthetic that I was going for. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at from the distance. So as you are coming into the shopping district, say we just came out of this portal, we go through here, and oh, that's perfect. We're just going to remove that mushroom. It looks fantastic. Now the only thing that we have left to do is to actually stock this thing. And we are going to be selling actually a couple things in here. For the very first floor, we will be selling, of course, standard iron things, iron nuggets, chains, anything that can be made with just iron. The second floor, we will be selling miscellaneous iron things, so stuff like hoppers and pistons, anything that you can make that uses iron, basically. For the third floor, I will be selling various redstone bits, repeaters, comparators, stuff like that. And finally, over here, we will actually be going into competition with Penguin because we will be selling rockets in this area. Sorry, Penguin. But because of my rocket factory, I have so many. So I will be definitely selling those off to the berries. So I'm going to go ahead and place a chest in here, and we will get this thing stocked up and ready to go. So that we have finished all of this building and that blimp, I have stocked a fair amount of what's inside. So let's go ahead and go through our inventory. We're going to have iron. I'm selling it in the form of ingots. We're going to have anvils, chains, cauldrons, and this is just primary iron stuff there. We are going to be selling soul lanterns. I haven't stocked any of these yet. We're also going to be selling regular lanterns, pistons, rails, iron bars, hoppers. I believe these are probably going to be in real big demand. We are also selling buckets, and then if we head all the way up here, we're going to be selling observers, repeaters, so that's a comparator, repeaters, redstone, tripwire hooks, chests. We're going to eventually be selling dispensers and droppers as well. And if we head over here to our blimp, we are selling firework rockets for a diamond a stack, which is undercutting prices a little bit. Prices at Penguin Shop are a diamond for 32 rockets. So hopefully we should get some customers in here. While we are in the shopping district, we may as well go ahead and check out the block bounty because I heard a certain berry got the bonus barrel. Now, if you forgot, if I remember correctly, the bonus barrel is worth 1,000 points, so that would easily put whoever got the bonus barrel in the lead. So let's go ahead, head in. Yes, we did indeed get someone to get the bonus barrel, and I believe that berry was Donut. My mouse isn't working. That's wonderful. Hello? There we go. Yep, Donut got the bonus barrel as well as something else, so I'm going to update the rest of those points. Looks like we have amazing sound over here checking out the scores, and that's because he has joined the game. He has rallied up a total of 1,035 points. He's definitely been making use of the bounty barrel, and I have restocked all of these. So there's a whole new set of things in here. We're only going to ever have one thing for the end chest, and that's endstone. And we have brand new things in the combo barrel. Again, this is worth 1,000 points, which is definitely worth it if you go for it because that's less than 250 points. 100% should do the combo barrel. But in first we have Donut. She got the combo barrel. She's at 1,079, followed by Zing at 1,035, and then a huge drop to third with Foxy for 104. Unfortunately, Penguin has been bumped off the leaderboard, but it's going to be really interesting to see it where this goes. We're about a quarter of the way through the games right now, and with the amount Amazing Sound seems to be participating, we are definitely going to get much further. We are actually going to add in one more prize so far, and that is an Iron Farm Pass. So I will work out the details with the winner later, but this will allow people to essentially use my Iron Farm for a set amount of time whenever they would like. So like they could choose to use it for 12 hours every so often to collect iron, and that's going to be part of the prize pool. And I might add in like Gunpowder Farm and Sugarcane Farm and other farms I build up later on. So that is very exciting. Now that's all I have time for today. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to that like button. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. But I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!